What's up, everybody? Video 2. So today will be a let's play, and it's a little different one. So let me show you. So I brought my movie shelf in the game room, and one of these is a Nintendo game, but I don't think it's a direct port. It would be funny if it was. And I guess the secret is down here by Megatron. What's this? LifeForce. Alright, so that's going to be the one for today. And there's also a LifeForce movie. But I don't think it's a port. This is about space vampires. This is like a director's cut. I think this is directed by Toby Hooper, who did Poltergeist. And I think he had something to do sort of with maybe Return of the Living Dead. I can't remember for sure. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And also, I don't think Matilda May is a part of the NES game, but it'd be pretty funny if it was. This movie where the British have a space shuttle, and Patrick Stewart is in it, and he looks pretty much the same as he always does. Yeah, and it's got space vampire zombies. It's pretty great. All right. Sometime I'll talk about movies. I've got all kinds of things. Oh yeah, that poster right there is Hell or High Water. I highly recommend this movie. It's outstanding. It's a gorgeous movie. Captures Texas pretty well, even though I think it was filmed partially in Arizona. And there's another one that I was going to talk about, which is The Man from Nowhere. Oh, here we go. It's a really good Korean movie. Anyhow, on to the game. Alright, let's go with LifeForce. It's been a long time since I played this. I remember it being a lot like the Gradius series. But this was exactly the kind of game that I was into back then. I loved all the shoot-em-ups. The only thing was, like, of course, like when you get killed, you lose everything. And it can make it, like, really tough. I guess R-Type was kind of similar. Although I think R-Type was even more brutal. I didn't realize how early this was in the library too. I think this is 88, it said. I think there was a lot more of the Gradius Konami type games in Japan. I know there's Parodius, which is pretty funny. So I saw that a long time ago, like in magazines, and always thought they should have brought it out. So they adapted so many like weird Japanese games, and like they didn't even have to change them sometimes. Like for TurboGrafx, there was JJ and Jeff, which was some kind of like Japanese game show thing. Whoops, I got the little missile things. That's probably not the best idea. See, now I've got no power-ups. I'm terrible at this. So I might have to start over. I don't know, let's see how we go. I know there's like codes in this too, like the Konami code, but I'm just gonna like try to play it as is. Some of the entertainment might be just me doing terrible. It's something I haven't played in 30 years, but this will be the first game for the Patreons. So I'll ship this off after the playthrough. Or not playthrough, obviously. I don't think I'm going to beat this right now. I've already died, I think, twice, right? Let's see. There's the speed. I needed that for sure. Yeah, I think there was some pretty good shooters for the NES, really. Yeah, those things are bad. This is like kind of coming back to me. I remember some of the stuff like regrows. I don't know if this is like part of it. That was always tough. Some of those options would be pretty handy right now, the little power-ups. I should have been down there, huh? Oh, crap. Yeah, those little parts like that where it's like environmental dangers, it always makes it like a big mistake to like select the speed power up too much because then you just like fly around. You can't like resist going into walls. Oh yeah, I think these are the things that regrow, right? Yeah. I don't know why I remember that. If you like shoot it too early, like you'll get stuck in it as you try to get through it. Like it's trying to get me right now. I'm like tapping the button like crazy. I don't know if I'm even supposed to. These games always had like a little bit of that like kind of bio horror art style, kind of like was in the Contra games where you start like seeing aliens and like fleshy monster machine hybrid kind of things. It's a big influence, I guess, in the 80s. I don't know if that stuff is still like popular. If anybody can name like modern kind of bio horror, like H.R. Giger kind of inspired stuff, let me know. Uh-oh. I actually have a weird kind of like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of connection to H.R. Giger and Salvador Dali. One of my best friends growing up was this guy named Alan, and his uncle was this guy named Edwin Neal, and Edwin Neal played the hitchhiker in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was filmed like in the 70s at some Texas school. And I think Tobe Hooper was the director of that, if I remember right. I don't think I've ever actually seen the movie, but he was like I guess like a sort of a cult movie star kind of guy, and he was in a movie in the mid '80s called Future Kill, and Future Kill had H.R. Giger art on the cover. It was like this guy with like claw kind of hands. It looked like definitely something he would draw. This same guy that drew or created the alien from the Alien series, which I think like that preceded the script and the whole idea for that thing. So yeah, it was definitely a deal. Anyway, that guy had the throne chair from Dune, like from the movie. Like he was friends with HR, and he had these lithographs. He gave me one of the lithographs, and it was like the Future Kill lithograph, and it's really cool. I got the red one. I gave it to this guy named Robbie. I think it's probably worth something now. I didn't really think about it at the time. I was just like, I didn't have a place to put it, so I was like, here. He like loved drawing and he loved H.R. Giger, so I gave it to him. But yeah, there was lots of great stories he had. Like there was a room at H.R. Giger's house where it was like a closet, and everybody that was an artist that came over, he would make them go in there and like paint something on the walls or whatever. So there was like Salvador Dali stuff. There's all these great artists that had gone over to his house and like painted like crazy psychedelic stuff, because apparently Giger liked to use the old paints that would like make you like hallucinate if you didn't have good ventilation. So that might explain some of the the stuff we grew up with, the extremely like wild designs. Oh goodness. Well, I guess if this is faithful to the movie, I'm like chasing space vampires, and maybe we'll have cutscenes with Patrick Stewart, which I guess is a Star Trek connection. Maybe I can like find an opportunity to say "Khan" in every video with whatever tenuous connection I can think of. So yeah, in my headcanon, this is I guess now it's a movie tie-in game. It's not LJN. That was terrible. Like there were so many games. Like I don't want to offend anybody that works at LJN, but they always seem to make like the tie-in games, and you'd think like if they just made a better game, like it would have sold more. Because I think eventually that even before like the internet, people started to catch on and like, no, I'm not gonna buy any more movie games. Or like the tie-in games. I probably should have killed those things, huh? This is not looking good. Maybe the slowdown will help me. That happened a lot with Super Nintendo games to a certain extent. Like you'd be saved by the slowdown. Oh crap! Yeah, that was bad. At least I cleared the one side before I like became vulnerable again. Whoop. Yeah, that was not good. Well, let's try again. I figure I'll give it a couple of goes and see how I do. Just chat about general nonsense. Upcoming on the channel, I'm going to try to get some interviews together. My friend Chris Tang, I think people would be really interested to learn more about him. If anybody, I'm sure a lot of you do, he won a contest that was in some ways bigger than the NWC. He won the Sega Rock the Rock. It was on MTV, and it was for $50,000. And I think it was 92 or 93, and he had to play Sonic. And he just blew everybody away. Like, he was ridiculously good. And if you're a long-time retro gamer, you've probably almost certainly played something that he contributed to. He's got a really wild and diverse resume. He worked with Bulletproof Software, became Blue Planet Software, which is like the Tetris holding company. So we had met at the NWC, but we didn't really stay in touch. Boy, I'm not really doing very good, am I? Anyway, he had met Alexei Pajitnov separate from when I met him. Like, we met him separately. And yeah, it's pretty wild community. Anyway, Chris is amazing, so I'd love to try to get him set up. Boy, this is really tough when you lose your power-ups. And I'm not really all that great at it anyway. I don't even remember these top-down sections. I remember the side view, I guess, because it like blends in with Gradius, but this is, I guess, more like Super Star Soldier, kind of like a compile style, top-down games. I know there was Gunak on the NES, which was just pretty cool. I think that was a compile, or it was like a Super Star Soldier related. It's weird how like a lot of the names of the Japanese versions are not the same in some of these series. Like, we had a game called Target Earth. I really liked it. Apparently it's like really hard. I need to go back and play it again because I was really good at it back in the day. I just, it was expensive to get Genesis games, and like I think it was a really relatively early title. And so like I learned how to play it, and all the little eccentricities and unique things about it. You have to conserve your ammo and pick the right stuff, and it's surprisingly tactical for an action game. It's like a platformer where you're a mech, and it's got this epic kind of story going along with it. But that had entries that were on the Super Nintendo, and then they much later made a remake on the Genesis that had like kind of bulkier sprites, though, because one of the cool things about the Genesis one for me was that it actually wasn't like jumbo sprites. You had like a more epic feeling play area because your character didn't take up so much of the room that there wasn't like a lot of room to move around. It was I'll just have to show you with the game itself what I'm talking about, but I like when I got the PS4 version, I like plugged it in. I was like, this is kind of cool, but it didn't really feel the same to me. But yeah, the Genesis version, I don't think it's very highly rated, and there's a Super Nintendo sequel that's got a completely different name, but in Japan, like the whole series, the names is totally different than what we got over here. But I think over there, you could actually tell that it was a series. I can't remember the name of the series right now, but I showed it in my other video. It's just not coming to mind right now. It's surprisingly tough to play this, like while like just talking about all kinds of things. I'm still looking for these dang space vampires. I got a lot of craters back there. It's like a shadowy. This is, I guess, well, I don't know how I'm supposed to get past that without the little options and stuff. It's tough. Goodness gracious. I am not doing well. That slowdown is kind of helpful. Come back, power up guy. He's just gone. Trying to think, what were some of the other really good early shooters for the Super Nintendo? Seems like a lot of the early ones were more like arcade ports. I remember they had a decent arcade port of Xevious, which is like one of those games like my dad liked. My dad liked like maybe 5 games ever, so it was kind of memorable. Like, oh yeah, he likes that one. Let's see what else. He liked the Atari 8-bit version of Pac-Man. What else? Qbert. Yeah, he really liked Qbert. And I think the other one was that game where you'd like draw boxes around things. I know that sounds really vague. It was just a really old game. It's kind of like this little guy. You'd literally like hold the button down. You'd go off from the platforms and draw boxes around stuff. I just can't remember what it was called right now. Kix? QIX? Yeah, that was it. I'm talking like really old school stuff. I think I'm going to give this one more shot from the beginning and see if I do any better. And if not, then I'm going to call it and then send it off to the Patreons to see if they do better. You can tell that, like, I'm not, some kind of elite player at this stuff. This was the kind of thing I really played back in the day, but when you don't do it for 30 years, it's tough. I mean, I play other games. I play, like, PC stuff and, like, modern console things, but these kind of games don't really, get a lot of attention anymore like they did. Holding this NES pad is something else. What does getting the laser twice do? I guess faster? That's cool. I actually used to be able to beat this thing, like, a long time ago. I lived in the Colony, Texas, before my house burned down. And I would play this, and it was, it didn't seem like it was, like, a big deal before, but it's pretty tough now. What are these things? I wonder, like, how many of these things have names, or if they bothered, One of them is Khan. Where are you? What are those hats? What are you guys? What are you? Like little wiggly hat things. One of them's going to be Gryffindor, Slytherin, I guess. Little teeth. I guess I'm supposed to be inside of like a worm or something. I should have like killed one of those things. Come back, guy. I need your little powers. Give me your powers. Put the cookie down. Oh, get through the chopper. Where is... yeah, this is much better with the little laser powers. I can, like, make sure that I'm not, like, stuck. Alright, what is that? It's flickering. Oh, that was just one of those things. Yes, give me that. Option! I got more options. Oh, look at that. I'm getting lucky. That was the direction I should have taken. Oh, boy. Little, like, minnow worm things are not good. Oh, this is that section. I better be careful with that. See, they come back. That's gonna get me. Don't shoot me. At least this isn't like one of those bullet hell games where like there's literally like 30,000 things on screen at the same time. Oh, that was tight. Hey guys, don't shoot me. Oh, that was bad. Now I lost everything, but I got a speed. Oh, what am I supposed to do here? Oh, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. Oh, that was bad. That was not good to die there. Let's see, what was this thing? Oh, this is the brain. That's right. Anyway, oh, I tried to block out the glare back there. I put like a literal mattress over that that window because I was getting like serious glare. But this is a Sony 36 TV. This, of course, is just composite video, but the NES had pretty okay composite. I know you can get RGB mods, but they're like not just as easy as plugging a cable in. So I'm just gonna live with this. It's kind of, like playing it back in the day, more or less. I think it pays off more with like a Genesis or a TurboGrafx or a Super NES to have RGB. especially the Genesis. A lot of those consoles were just really blurry out of the RF output, or even the AV. It just like depended on the console. I remember the TurboGrafx had pretty clear, even like RF, like it was good. I had the Turbo Booster back in the day, which is that big chunky thing that gave you the stereo audio and video. But what people discovered since was that you can just like use like alligator clips and like connect wires directly to like the pins on the back of that little port that reflect, the stereo and direct composite video. Boy, that was close. Now I see why they upgrade to the lasers, like valuable. That little blank spot in the middle would get you killed. But yeah, this time I got a TurboGrafx, and I've got this adapter that goes on the back of it. I need to check where I've got that thing. I thought it was plugged in, but it's not. I have a modded TurboGrafx that has the composite like built into the side with S-Video, but I've also got this thing that plugs in the back that gives you RGB SCART. Oh, I made it that time. One of those dang things. Just about got caught talking about that. Anyway, it's kind of like a Kickstarter kind of level, like semi-homemade adapter that, well, there's the volcano. Anyway, it gives you RGB SCART, and I got that Turbo EverDrive. I just haven't like plugged it in and got it going. I've only got like maybe a half dozen TurboGrafx games left. And one of my favorite TurboGrafx games was Military Madness, which was, if anybody's ever played Advance Wars, it's a lot like that. I was always into like kind of like the strategy games. I remember Dune 2 came out on Genesis. It was like early RTS, and that was pretty cool. Oh, goodness gracious, that's not good. And yeah, you could like, send your little thing out to harvest spice, and like it was, a lot like before there was Warcraft 2 and StarCraft and all that. That Dune game was a lot like that. And then there was Herzog Zwei, which is another game I'm going to play on the channel. And it was really competitive and really unique. It was kind of confusing to get into. It was controversial to me because the reviews were so bad for it. I think EGM gave it like 3s and 4s and 5s. But it's a pretty awesome game. All right, guys, I'm gonna turn this off, and then we'll go do the drawing.